welcome. Well, I want to tell you tonight about a project to help control the wild Mustang herds in Idaho. It's underway in our own backyard, and it's never been tried before. A Washington state artist has done the impossible and gotten the Bureau of Land Management, the community, the cattle ranchers to all work together to create the Wildlife Preserve. And if this model for Mustang management should work, it could save the animals, the environment they live in, and bring new money to the tiny town of Challis. Andrea Mackey is nothing short of amazing. A brilliant artist. She came upon the Challis Mustang adoption several years back, and she learned that Idaho, and quite frankly the rest of the nation, have a crisis on their hands. Too many wild horses, too little land.
I come from a position of I would love it if they could be left alone, but it's just not realistic. It's not feasible. That's not going to happen.
After jumping through a lot of hoops, she adopted 126 head from the Challis herd, forever taking them off the shoulders of the taxpayers, but allowing them to stay wild and free. She has created a nonprofit agency.
Wildlife Preserve is a two-part wildlife preserve, and the goal is in addressing all facets of wild horse population at home in our own region.
Mackey is raising money to buy ground for the Mustangs to run on, about 4,000 acres. She will control the herd's population with PZP birth control. They'll run in their own home territory in the Challis area, but that's not all.
From the get-go in April 2010, when Wildlife Preserve was founded, there was a whole ecotourism element put in place as a means of sustainability. But we also have the education, we have the awareness that is key, and we're so excited to be having groups of kids come out and field trips, and actually people of all ages.
It's one of the most gorgeous areas on earth. Imagine going to Challis and seeing wild Mustangs and learning all about their history and having education materials available. This doesn't exist anywhere else, but it is going to take money.
We are privately funded, like you say, raising the dollars. I'm not a Richie Pants, so I have to go about raising the dollars.
The community is excited about the idea because of the ripple effect.
I think it's awesome. I absolutely think we have to do something, and I'm just really glad that she started it.
When the tour buses roll into town, the money will roll into Main Street. Even ranchers who generally have nothing nice to say about Mustangs are on board. Stephen Bachman is a rancher in the Challis area, and he says that her program, when fully funded, will solve the wild horse issue in the Custer Wild Horse Management area through private management and PZP for population control. Everything is ready to go, but WLP needs money.
Until we have those land acquisitions, we can't do that. So instead of playing the waiting game, you know, you contacted me, and I guess you heard of us from the BLM, is that right? And so, you know, run with scissors.
So if you want to learn more about this, you can go to wildlovepreserve.org, and there'd be a place there to donate, and of course any amount. Anything can help because it's a very big nonprofit agency project. Mackey says anything and everything.
And if that kind of idea could be replicated elsewhere around the country, it really could be the answer to the overpopulation problem. How many wild Mustangs?
No, we've got 50,000 in corrals right now. I mean, they're wild Mustangs in corrals for the rest of their life if they don't get adopted. That is not a great life for a wild Mustang. But if we could get individual people to get them off the taxpayers' rolls, which we're spending about $80 million a year on these wild Mustangs trying to just keep them fed, then, you know, other people might adopt this model.
Yes.
And if you can control the herd, that's the key right there.
What a
the
great
size
idea.
of the herd.
Thanks for bringing us that story, Carol.